Hello and welcome to my channel. Mimi here. Today's video is going to be all about cleaning up my front yard and my porch area, getting it ready so that I can sit out and enjoy the nice summer days. So here is what it looks like right now. Kind of looking a little shabby. I have not had the opportunity to go out and get things cleaned up a lot earlier like I normally do. And the reason for that is right there in that corner is where a robin laid their eggs, made their nest. And so I wanted to be respectful of nature and let them go through the whole process of hatching and feeding and getting them out of the nest. So they finally did. But what they left for me was certainly a huge mess. And so now it's time for me to clean that up. When they would fly into the window to try to scare me off, they did that by leaving some of their waste on the screen. So I'm cleaning that off nice and good, spraying, scrubbing, spraying, and scrubbing some more. I did do shorts on the progression of the eggs with the robins and them hatching and the feeding, and I made that into a little bit of a playlist, and I'm going to attach that to the end of this video because to actually see that up front is certainly amazing, and I'm glad to be able to do that, and I certainly want to share that with you. Now, although it ended in quite a bit of work for me, it was still important for me to let that beginning of life carry through in nature and not do anything that would scare the mama and the papa robins off and abandon the nest. So yeah, back to cleaning the screen. I scrubbed it a couple times and I sprayed it. I'll come back again when I do my final cleaning all the way through and just scrub it some more just to make sure that I have everything out. And I'll do that right before the reveal that I'm going to do for this video. I started working on my porch a little bit later in the evening, and so I wanted to go ahead and get at least a few things accomplished. Number one, kind of clearing off the porch, cleaning the screens, and then I wanted to go ahead and start to pot some of my annuals, two pots that I'm going to put on the front of my porch when I'm done. I'm using some of the same soil that I had in a pot from last year, just kind of loosen it up, wet it a little bit so it'll be easier to work with. And then I'm putting my plants in and just kind of loosening up that root ball because a lot of that develops in there. So I'm loosening that up and I'm putting it down into the planter. And then I'm going to do that with the rest of the plants as well. I'm adding some petunias in here. They love the sun and will do very well. The front porch and the front yard, right off of the porch, gets a lot of sun. So it's really important that whatever I put in that area is able to tolerate the more than 6 hours of direct sun that it's going to get each day. I'm also adding what they call, I believe that's a potato vine, potato plant. Not sure. It'll be in the description box. But I'm adding that because it just gives a nice full look to the planter. It's going to come up and overflow and hang down. And it's just going to be beautiful once everything takes. The water, the sun is just going to make everything bloom and be nice and beautiful in that area on my porch. Now it's time just for a little light cleanup, as well as to add some water to the plant before I place it on the porch. And I have another one that I'm going to do very similar, a lot of the same flowers. My color scheme for my porch and my front yard with the plants are going to be yellow, white, some orange, and a little bit of that purple with the potato vine. And all of that is going to be a very nice, I think, fresh color scheme that I'm using for the front of my yard. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up on this second one and get that one placed on the porch. Now it's time to clean everything up and kind of put things back in place to prepare for the next day when I come out to do some more cleaning. So my goal for the next part of this video, and you'll see that soon, is to start working on the front yard as you come off from my front porch. And I'll do that by start working on the tree, that beautiful weeping cherry. I'll start working on that, but for right now, I just want to get everything cleaned up, looking nice and neat and ready to start the next part of this project. Here's a better view of that weeping cherry that I was talking about. And then I cut down a little bit of the long stems that were growing off of that rose bush to shape that up. And in this pot right here, I've got a fern. I'm going to move that fern and add a little bit more color in there, so give it some definition so everything's not just one tone in this part of my yard. And then I have some ivy, and this is a good ivy that's growing. It's kind of overgrown in this area. I'm going to pull some of that up very carefully and kind of shape it up into a nice little mound around this area here and clean that up. And then last night, I started with potting some of my plants, and already today they just look amazing. So I still got quite a bit of work to do on my porch to get everything cleaned up. This is what I think is the poison ivy. I took a picture of it and I referenced it, and there may also be some poison oak in here. So again, I'm going to be very careful so that I don't get any of that oil on me. um, I have on the long pants. I do have my gloves. Got some good insulated gloves, and I'm just going to be very careful not to step too much in that area. But I am going to get something that I can spray on there to help take care of that and get that out of that area. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. This is a nice project. I love doing it myself. Of course, I know I could hire someone to do it, but doing this kind of work gives me a lot of enjoyment and fulfillment, and it's good exercise too. So hang in there. Trimming a weeping cherry tree should normally be done in early spring or in early fall. Now, I am doing an exception on this. This is a very well established tree, but generally in the spring, you want to prune it, as kind of what I'm doing right now, when there are no blossoms on it or no leaves. But again, a little bit of an exception here where I'm trimming it now. I don't do this too often because I do love this tree. It's been here for quite a while, ever since we moved here, and I really don't want to do anything to damage it. However, at the same time, it does need to be trimmed. But because of the circumstances that I had a little bit earlier and the way that our weather is here, it did go a little bit longer than what it should have gone before I started cutting off the limbs on it. Another thing that I want to be mindful of as I trim the sweeping cherry is to keep it in the shape well it will kind of come over and weep down so that it'll look nice and neat. I'll tell you that by the end of the summer, this tree, the branches will have grown out and start to fall down and almost touch the ground once again. It's a very beautiful tree, and I want to take real good care of it so that I can enjoy it for years to come. Okay, so this is what it looks like with the initial haircut on this weeping cherry tree. I'm going to go in a little bit closer, and what I'm going to do is go in and clean out some of those older dead branches that are in here just to make it look a little bit nicer. And then, well, finally, I've got some daylilies that literally are just now really seeing the light of day because of the way that this cherry tree was vining down and covering everything up. But it's looking good so far. I got some more cleanup to do around here. I got some boxwood over here that I'm going to make some quick work of with an electric trimmer and clean those up. And so this is kind of the start. And then I've got this little waterfall over here. It was a waterfall until it decided to stop working, but now I just use it as ornamentation for the yard. I think I'm going to move that, or when I say move it, my husband's going to move it to another little area on this, and so you can see it better, just because that tree tends to vine down and cover things up. And then I've got some hostas in there. I've got this huge hosta right here that I need to probably spray or put some powder on to get rid of the little bugs that are on there that are kind of chewing up some of the leaves. But really nice area in the front of my yard. And then I've got a rose right there, a little rose bush with some roses coming up. And again, just some more cleanup in here. And this is kind of my before look at my front yard and my porch. And of course, I will come back and show you the finished. It's probably going to have to be in a part two because this is really quite a bit of work to do just for one video. And I want to be able to show you the finished product. Let's see. Oh, there's a pot from last year that I'm going to clean that up and repot it. And I'll probably put it over here, remove this fern. Let me go ahead and lift that out right now. And I've got some soil down in there, but I decided that what I'm going to do is just leave it like that and just put the pot right in there just to anchor it. All that soil in there, maybe I'll use it one day, but it is also a good way to keep this huge vase in there and keep it upright so it doesn't fall over and break. And there's all that ivy that I'm going to take care of and get that all cleaned up. And looks kind of wild right now, but it's real pretty. I like it. And then this is some of the work that I did on the porch yesterday evening to clean that up. Got those flowers in there that are already starting to brighten up as the sun is shining down on them. So I still got quite a bit of work to do, but I'm going to get there, and when I do, I'm going to be able to show that to you and come and sit out on my porch during these nice spring into summer into fall months before I need to change things all over again. And that is the pile of all of the branches that came off of the tree. So my husband's got a little bit of work to do to get all that cleaned up. That's going to be his job. Thank you for watching, and of course subscribe, like, and hit the notification button so you can see the next video. And then of course, whatever you do and wherever you go, be blessed.